This is big breaking news. They are now activating these groups to directly attack the United States electrical grid and attack our critical infrastructure. You can see here a massive riot has broken out at a police facility that is right under a massive transmission tower outside of Atlanta, Georgia, which could cause power outages and blackouts for Atlanta right now. This is huge. These are being attacked with Molotov cocktails. This is serious. This is not just an accident. This is not an accidental fire like they keep saying. These buildings and this critical infrastructure is being attacked with Molotov cocktails. This is serious. This is a internal war that we're having, a domestic war that is happening inside the United States right now. There are groups that want to destroy the United States and want to take out our critical infrastructure, so we are not prepared for a big attack. And there are groups that want to protect it and want America to be strong and healthy. All right, you're probably in that category, most likely, if you watch my videos. But there are a lot of people, and all these attacks, all right, if you've been watching my channel, I've been covering these attacks for months and months, and it's just so coincidentally that we'll get to more details here. A man was also charged with bombing substations in California as well. This just happened as well too. We will get to all this news. It's hard to even keep up. It's hard to keep track. But all this stuff starts happening right after Bloomberg posts this article, right after this idea starts being pushed to the mainstream. People that will do these attacks, that's what I was saying. These ideas are being put out there. People's minds are being primed to implement these attacks. It's very dangerous. There's very high-powered frequency weapons being used. Havana syndrome, all these things are related. But you can see here that Bloomberg is even putting out articles saying, should the climate movement embrace property destruction? All right, should they embrace property destruction? This was on December 14th, 2022. And then look at the past 2 months. Look at January and especially February. There has been attack after attack, fire after fire at industrial plants, manufacturing plants, everything critical to our supply chain and to our economy and to our modern world is being attacked. And newspapers like Bloomberg are putting out this idea that they need to attack even more. This is absolutely insane. I don't know how they are allowed to put out this article. If the perspective was flipped, if it was some other news agency saying, hey, we need to attack these buildings, it would be, or attack this infrastructure, whatever, it would be chaos, and rightfully so. It would not be okay. They would be shut down. But when it's put out by Bloomberg, which is owned by Michael Bloomberg, one of the richest people in the world, billionaires, run for president multiple times, his newspaper can put it out saying they need to embrace property destruction of the critical infrastructure and of the grid. So this is very serious, and now we are seeing attacks like this happening right now. And there's actually already been multiple riots for this, quote, cop city. That's what they're calling it. There's a lot of pushback for it. It's just this police training facility that's in the woods in Georgia, and you can see here it's right under these power lines, and a massive riot has broken out, and people have been attacking it with Molotov cocktails. And you can see here's some more pictures. These power lines, this is a break in the lines, and you can see here they go all the way into Atlanta. They go very far, and this fire is right under one of the main transmission towers, which could cause an outage here. All right, it could get up there, it could cause a fire, and I don't see any emergency response teams. There's just a bunch of police here because it's a police academy, but I don't see any emergency response for firefighters here, and it seems like this fire has been going on for a while, and there's no firefighters there yet to put out the fire, probably because of the complicated situation of being right under a transmission tower. Very dangerous to put out, and they're going to have to work with that as well. And just some more pictures. They're attacking the construction of this academy being built, and this is going to move to homes. This is going to, we're already seeing, I see massive fires all the time at apartment complexes and multifamily units constantly. And people are getting arrested for it constantly. And we're going to cover a guy that got charged for literally bombing multiple substations in California. We're going to get to that in just a second. But these fires are happening as well for family units, for homes, for multifamily units. They're happening all over the place, all over the United States, and people are getting charged for them too. We could see these groups attacking housing. These houses are too big. They don't fit in this agenda. This neighborhood is too whatever. So you better be able to defend yourself, protect yourself. Think about it. If they're so brazen to attack police academies, I'll go back to this picture here, all right? There are a ton of police officers here, and they are brazenly attacking it with Molotov cocktails. You don't think they're going to attack your home? And who are you going to call? The police that they're already attacking? In a real emergency, the emergency services will not be there. You need to be able to protect yourself, guys. This is getting nuts. This is getting crazy, especially if you live in the United States. That is one of your basic fundamental human rights, is to protect yourself. And your life's valuable. Everybody's life is valuable. And you should be able to defend it, because you never know. This is going to start hitting neighborhoods, homes. It's already hitting grocery stores, food warehouses. There was a massive grocery store fire in New York today. All right, burned down grocery store that's been there for decades. Complete loss. We're seeing this hit time after time. And it's going to be your neighborhood soon, all right? Soon it'll be your neighborhood looted, your neighborhood being lit on fire. And that's an attack, all right? If your property is being attacked and under your laws for your country, your state, or whatever, you should be able to defend yourself legally and lawfully. That's what I believe. That's a human right. And you need to get prepared now. Europe is already telling their manufacturers for ammunition to ramp up production for a massive war. They're saying we have a ammunition shortage and you need to ramp it up for the military. All right, so if you're not already stocked up on things like ammunition, definitely get it now. It's best to just have a couple different rounds. All right, that's my best advice. You don't want to have too many different rounds that could just spread you too thin. All right, have a few basic rounds. My favorite, 12 gauge 223. All right, I don't want to get too much into this on this platform here, but make sure you are stocked up on your main rounds. Have 2, maybe 3, and just have tons and tons of those, and have multiple instruments that you can use with those. All right, that's my strategy here. That's what I use. Different instruments, multiple different instruments, but only a couple different rounds. So you can have lots of ammo, but you can put that ammo in lots of different instruments. All right, that's as far as I'm going to go here, but you need to be able to defend yourself. You need to get stocked up. We could see major shortages on ammunition. We could see major clampdowns on being able to defend yourself and protect yourself. At the same time, we see crime rising. We see these attacks rising, and I'm for self-defense, all right? And this stuff is going to get worse every single day, it seems like. And these are organized groups. I think they call themselves like Unicorn Riot. Like, they're groups, they have Twitters, they have all this stuff. They're just openly organizing these events to attack police facilities that are right under massive transmission towers and light them on fire. They're organizing out in the open, and somehow they're allowed to do it. So there must be somebody bigger funding them. All right, I was saying before that people like Klaus Schwab, people like these globalists, Bill Gates, anyone that goes to this World Economic Forum is highly suspect. And they could be a suspect for funding these groups directly or indirectly. George Soros, we know all these top names have multinational groups, and they have multiple groups that they fund through different organizations to launder the money. All right, they have 10 different groups that they send money through, and then they eventually send it to this Unicorn Riot group, whatever it's called, that's organizing these crimes and attacks on our infrastructure. So let's get into this guy in California that was literally charged with bombing multiple substation facilities and causing massive power outages. This is insane, and they found even more material in his house, and they actually found a drug facility in his house. I don't even want to say what it is, but they found a facility in his house too. So you can see here, California man arrested for transformer bombings had explosive materials in his home. This guy was just arrested today, and they are charging him with allegedly bombing multiple substation facilities in California. You can see here, a California man accused of blowing up 2 Pacific gas and electric transformers allegedly had large amount of explosive materials and an inactive lab in his home. It's crazy, crazy stuff, all right? And this keeps happening. I reported on a explosive trying to be brought on a plane in Philadelphia. I reported on a explosive found on the train tracks outside of Philadelphia. These things keep happening, and now this guy's being charged with this as well. And you can see here he was arrested Wednesday, and he faces multiple charges, including 2 counts of exploding a destructive device and 2 counts of destroying an electrical line and arson charge. All right, so they are saying that he committed these crimes, and he committed one in December and one in January, right around this article. All right, it's just so strange that this article is allowed to come out and push this idea, which is absolutely insane. This is an insane idea, and we need people to denounce it and say it's insane, because there's people that literally believe this is a good idea, and there's people acting on it. So this article comes out, and then what do you know? In December and January, this guy starts hitting these substations. It's just almost unbelievable. And then this also happened in Tacoma, Washington as well too. I've reported on this multiple times, but on Christmas Day, there was 3 different substations attacked in Tacoma, Washington, and this article was put out on December 14th. Just it's so weird. Is this a coincidence, or is this a push by the media to put this narrative out here and normalize it? And then there's these crackpots. All right, this guy's literally cooking up crackpots over here. Has a lab in his garage, and then he sees this article and he goes and does it. This is absolutely insane that this is allowed to be pushed, this idea, and there's real world repercussions for this too. So honestly, no better time to get a generator, to get protected from a grid power outage. I have a Champion generator, 4,500 starting watts, 3,500 running. It has a 30 amp outlet that I can plug my RV right into, and it has over 1,000 hours on it, and it still runs great. I actually have it running to charge up my RV battery and to just run it. I just run it every couple months to just make sure it's running well and to burn the gasoline off in it. I don't like leaving gas just sitting in it, so I like to just run it every couple months to burn it off, put new gas in it. All right, so get yourself a generator. There's no better time. We are going to see more attacks like this. We had Klaus Schwab warning of a, quote, black swan event. Black swan event. He was at the World Government Summit, and he was warning of this. And they want this black swan event, which is just an obscure event that rarely happens every 100 years, or just never happens. That changes everything. That's all this is a term for. He's warning of this at the World Government Summit. Why would he warn of it there? Because they are trying to implement a world government. They're trying to implement a digital ID. They're trying to implement a carbon credit tracking system for the entire world. And it's essentially the mark of the beast system. All right, they're not just going to come out and say, hey, this is the mark, take it. No, they're going to build the system around us, and they're going to make it almost impossible to live without the system, and you will be forced into the system involuntarily, or you will just have to openly reject it. And the time to reject it is now. The Federal Reserve is already announcing their own federal digital currency, and they're running pilots in the New York Federal Reserve and the San Francisco Federal Reserve right now because they know the United States dollar is being devalued. They know that a big cyber attack or a massive grid collapse event could come, wipe out the dollar. All your money is in your bank account. All right, most of the banks just store your money as a text file. Very unsecure and very susceptible to being wiped out. Most of your data is stored just as a text file, and it's very simple. They just subtract the money. They just have a ledger and are just subtracting it in the text file at your bank. All right, not even an Excel sheet, not even a spreadsheet. Most of your bank accounts are stored on a text file. It's just a text file with a number in it. All right, and it just has a ledger attached to it to either negate or add money to it. So these things could easily be wiped out in the event of a massive cyber attack or a massive grid attack. All right, there was already a nationwide grid outage in Argentina because of a massive fire, potentially a grid attack. Nationwide outage, 40 million people live there about, and they all had their power out for almost the entire day, and most people still have their power out from this attack, but the entire nation had their power out from a massive fire at one of their main grid substations in Argentina. This could happen in the United States at any moment, and they could use this event to reset the currency, reset the grid, reset the internet, and implement a digital currency. Problem, reaction, solution. They cause the problem. They release these groups to attack the grid. All right. The reaction is people freak out. People are wondering, we want a solution for this, for these attacks. The solution becomes to clamp down, to highly regulate the grid, to have everything tracked and traced for grid shortages, and to have your money tracked and traced. So, we need to track the money so we can't have people funding these sketchy groups that are attacking the grid. This is what they do. They create a problem. They create groups. Look at overseas in the Middle East. The United States is on record creating a lot of these terrorist organizations over there. They're on record creating them and funding them as well. Look at what happened overseas just last year, how much equipment was left for these organizations. All right, we are funding them, we are giving them weapons, we're training them, and a lot of them are created by the United States to act as a bad guy. Problem, reaction, solution. They create these problem groups. They cause lots of issues. People react. They want a solution. They create a police state. They create the National Defense Authorization Act that has been in place for decades now to spy on domestic citizens. This is what they do, and they're always going to use it for a power grab. Look at the past few years was used for a massive power grab. They created this massive boogeyman, this massive problem, and they created everyone was begging, oh, please do something, please do something. And they created a solution for you. All right, fine, we will clamp down and create a police state where you are tracked and traced and told what to do, where to go, where to stand all day long. And they're going to use these groups to create more and more chaos. This already happened in Atlanta just about a month ago. The Atlanta governor declared a state of emergency. He deployed the National Guard for these massive riots because there was tons of riots downtown in Atlanta for this exact reason, from this exact group, and they were attacking Wells Fargo banks. They literally broke into them. They smashed all their windows, smashed the ATMs. They were lighting cop cars on fire. They were having explosive fireworks just shooting all over the streets of Atlanta. The same exact group just last month, and a state of emergency was declared for it. These groups are going to be unleashed on the American people, and they're already inside America, and they're going to fund them and unleash them. And they were even saying, the mayor of Atlanta was even saying that these people are from out of state. They don't even live here. They don't even live in Georgia. Most of the people arrested for that riot last month. So these people are being busted. They're being funded. Somehow they don't have to work, or they don't have families, or they don't have to eat or anything. Somehow all their needs are taken care of, and they are just able to light these things on fire and cause riots and protest all day about this police training facility. It's just insane. Who's paying them? Who's allowing these people to survive and exist and have money to create Molotov cocktails? This is absolutely insane. We need to get to the bottom of who's actually funding these groups, because they're going to be released on the United States and cause even more attacks. So make sure you're getting prepared, and make sure you're able to defend yourself legally and lawfully for your state, your country, your county, because these attacks are going to increase. And your best bet is to just get out of the city, because most of these attacks happen in major city areas, and that's going to be the worst area when it hits the fan. So thank you guys so much. Please hit that like, please hit that sub, please hit that bell for me if you want to get notified for my videos. Go check out my video I posted yesterday. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.